Lionel Messi left Barcelona in 2021, marking the end of an era at one of the world's biggest football clubs. Messi, who had been at the heart and soul of Barcelona for over a decade, was gone, leaving a massive void. But in the wake of his departure, one young player was expected to rise up as the next big thing. Enter Ansu Fati. However, the road to greatness is rarely straight, and Fati's journey has been full of highs, lows, and questions about whether he can truly fill the enormous shoes left by Lionel Messi. Today, we're diving into the rise of Ansu Fati, his struggles, and the new wave of talent at Barcelona as we look at the emergence of a new star in Lamine Yamal. Ansu Fati's rise wasn't just rapid, it was meteoric. Born in Guinea-Bissau and raised in the small town of Herrera in southern Spain, Ansu's journey to stardom was one of passion, sacrifice, and undeniable talent. From a young age, he stood out. Coaches spoke about his dribbling like it was art, his touch, his movement, all instinctive. By the age of 10, he joined La Masia, FC Barcelona's world-famous youth academy, the very same place that shaped legends like Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi. In August 2019, just 16 years of age, Fati made his debut for Barcelona's first team, becoming the youngest player to appear for the club in La Liga since 1941. And of course, it didn't stop there. Within weeks, he shattered records. He became Barcelona's youngest ever goal scorer in La Liga history. He became the youngest player to score an assist in the same La Liga game, and in the Champions League, he wrote his name in the record books once again, the youngest scorer in the tournament's history at just 17 years and 40 days. What made Fati's rise so astonishing wasn't just the stats, it was how he played. There was a fearlessness in his game. He didn't hesitate to take on defenders twice his age. He moved with purpose, always scanning the field like a seasoned pro. And the fans, they absolutely fell in love with him. At a time when Barcelona was reeling from inconsistent results and internal turmoil, Fati became a symbol of hope, a shining light in the post-Neymar pre-Messi exit era. When a young Ansu Fati broke into the Barcelona first team, he did so under the looming shadow of Lionel Messi, a player who had already cemented himself as a living legend at the club. For any teenager coming into a team built around the greatest player of all time, the pressure is unimaginable. But for Fati, the experience was also a rare privilege. He got to share the pitch, the dressing room, and the training ground with Lionel Messi, arguably the best mentor a young attacker could even ask for. When Messi left Barcelona in 2021 to join PSG, Barcelona needed a new symbol, someone to represent the future of the club. And in a bold, symbolic move, Ansu Fati was handed the iconic number 10 shirt. The gesture was powerful but risky. That number carried the weight of greatness, and for Fati, it became both an honour and a burden. He was still just a teenager, still developing, and now he was expected to lead the club out of its darkest transition in decades. The comparisons to Messi were inevitable. Every touch, every goal, every misstep was scrutinised, and while Fati embraced the challenge with maturity beyond his years, the pressure to live up to a legend's legacy was always going to be immense. Messi's influence gave Fati a launchpad, but it also set a nearly unreachable benchmark. In November of 2020, just as Fati was beginning to establish himself as Barcelona's new talisman, disaster struck. A torn meniscus in his left knee. An injury that can be career-altering, sidelined him for the better part of a year. It was more than just a physical setback, it was a cruel interruption to a dream just getting started, and he was only just 18. The surgery was supposed to fix the issue, but the reality was more complicated. Multiple procedures followed, each delaying his return further. For a player whose game depended on explosiveness, agility, and confidence, the injury was devastating. The rehab process was long, painful, and mentally draining. Fati went from being Barcelona's youngest goal scorer in the Champions League to being confined to the gym, watching his team from the stands. Mentally, the strain was enormous. Fati wasn't just dealing with pain, he was dealing with the emotional toll of doubt. Would he ever be the same again? Could he live up to the expectations set for him? The pressure, the wearing the number 10 jersey, coupled with an interrupted development path, turned what was once a fairy tale into a grind just for survival. After enduring a series of setbacks at Barcelona, Fati's future began to look increasingly uncertain. By the summer of 2023, a loan move seemed like the right step for both Fati and Barcelona. A move to the Premier League to Brighton and Hove Albion was agreed upon, and many saw this as an opportunity for Fati to regain his confidence, rediscover his best form, and prove his worth away from the intense pressure of Barcelona. Well, the loan deal was officially finalised, and Fati made the move to Brighton with high hopes of a successful season in the Premier League. Over the course of the season, Fati made 27 appearances for Brighton, scoring 4 goals in all competitions, and providing important contributions in key matches. However, despite his promising displays, Fati struggled to stake a consistent claim for a starting spot. While he showed flashes of his talent, he was unable to lock down a regular starting position, facing stiff competition from other players and tactical challenges within the team. Fast forward to the present, and Fati's situation under new manager Hansi Flick has taken a turn. Despite his talent, Fati has found himself on the periphery of Barcelona's starting lineup, with the club in a rebuilding phase under Flick. Even though they are doing extremely well in all competitions, Flick has opted for a tactical system that doesn't always accommodate a player like Ansu Fati. The emergence of new talent as well in the squad and the tactical demands of the German coach have meant that Fati is now competing with more players for a spot in the team than he ever did before. His confidence is still a little bit shaky, and his once promising future at Barcelona now feels uncertain. Will he be able to rediscover his form under Flick, or will the club look to part ways with him in the near future? Fati has made several appearances for Barcelona this season, but has only started 2 games. His confidence, which had never fully recovered after his injuries, seems to be at an all-time low. His performances have lacked the spark that once made him such a tantalising prospect. The road ahead for Ansu Fati is uncertain, but one thing is clear: Barcelona is moving forward, whether with Fati or a new generation of stars like Lamine Yamal. The legacy of Messi may never be fully replicated, but the future of Barcelona remains full of promise. As the club continues to rebuild, the hope is that a new leader will emerge, whether it's Fati or someone else, to guide Barcelona back to the pinnacle of world football. Let's hope for Fati's sake he is a part of that. Guys, let me know your thoughts on Ansu Fati in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace.